Will be our next speaker of Ahuja Foods, and he's going to be presenting his report on gloves. Mr. Ahuja is the director of the Navi Mumbai Merchant Chambers and currently chairman of Ahuja Foods. He holds a master's degree in pharmaceutical science and is an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad. Up to you, sir.
Sorry, folks, to have delayed your appetizing lunch. We just jump to first slide. Yes. No, first slide. Look at the first slide. So, I am very thankful to the Spices Board and the Ministry of Commerce for having included cloves for the very first time in our basket of commodities which are discussed in this forum, and I am honored to be the first one to be presenting to you the crop scenario. But just a few 25 seconds maybe tell you about the history of cloves. They were originally found to be grown in Maluku Islands of Indonesia, and that's the oldest finding in the history. And gradually it went on to Madagascar, Zanzibar, and other islands around the equator. Clove is called clovus in Latin language, and clovus means nail, aquila, a nail that you, because it's the shape of a nail. I'll just take you to the very basic life cycle of cloves. Can we play the video? No? Okay, the video is not available. So cloves is normally a bud. We pluck the bud before it goes into the flowering stage, because once it goes into the flowering stage, the aroma is lost to the atmosphere to attract the insects. And these insects help in pollination. Once the pollination is done, the flower turns into a fruit. The fruit is called the mother of cloves. The mother of cloves falls down to the ground, and then a new sapling is generated. So that was the intent of showing you on this video. We have a very challenging task here because the geographical spread of cloves all around in the valleys and in the mountains. So it's not a crop kind of a thing. It grows in the wilderness, and maybe in some countries it's a controlled growth also, but it's not farming, it's estates. So the crop estimation is taken through the elders in the villages, and cyclical also, and we need to develop an algorithm how much weightage to give to each source. Of course, exporters have been of great help in coming to the figures, often not very clear. So one key factor that we would like to look into the future of crop estimate is the color of the leaf. Once the leaf gives out a new leaf which is reddish pinkish in color, this tree is not going to give you any cloves this year. But if it is deep green color, so that is the one that is is going to bear the flowers of clove or the buds of cloves, which we need. So through satellite imaging, we get the color of the plantation area or the valleys and mountains. From the color, we compare it with the empirical data available, which has not been initiated yet. Once we get the comparison of the color intensity and the empirical data, the prediction of the crop size will be very easy in the following years. Harvest calendar, we'll come back to it once again, but it's practically the bunching of most of the crops in the last quarter of the year. Almost out of 5 countries are giving you the crop in the month of November. Normal crop country-wise is in front of you. Indonesia is the largest producer, largest consumer, goes into cigarette making. India is the second largest, sorry, I'm talking about production. So India is the least producer of cloves, and second highest is Madagascar. Lion's share, 3/4 of a quarter is 3/4 of the production is out of Indonesia, as we just saw. Market in terms of valuation in 2023 has been $5.59 billion, and it is expected to go to $6.7 billion with a CAGR of 3.7%. Consumption, Indonesia, as we saw, largest consumer in cigarettes, and second highest is India. The difference being it goes into cigarettes and it goes into curry. So these are the factors which will determine the price behavior also, in case you are interested. Coming to the estimation of the crop, overcoming the challenges, collecting data, collating information from various sources. Luckily, Indonesia is more structured because of involvement of corporates who are making cigarettes. So the trees are numbered, and production is figures that come out to them, which are kept as a closely guarded secret by each company. They are fairly reliable as compared to other countries. Indonesia is projecting 70,000 tons, and Madagascar again is 15,000 tons. Comoros has been 3,500, Zanzibar at 5,000, and so on. However, here a factor I would like to take you back now, keeping in mind that Comoros at 3,500, we go back to the period of production. Comoros was to start its harvest in July, but it has just commenced, end of August. So the classic case is that whenever there is a short crop, the harvest is delayed because the maturing of the flower takes, or the bud takes longer. On the other side, Madagascar, which is supposed to be giving you a bumper crop this year, is early in production. So it was actually October, but it has already started harvesting in the south of the country. So this is a very, very interesting bunching of crops together in this particular year. So its impact is writing on the wall. I need not, let's go back. This is scenario outside Indonesia and scenario within Indonesia. These are the key factors that differentiate the behavior of price pattern. So outside of Indonesia, we have an estimated demand of 33,000 and estimated supply of 34,000, fairly evenly matched. Unless Indonesia ventures out, Indonesians venture out to buy for making more cigarettes. But post-COVID, India's requirement has gone up, relying more on clove for very therapeutic wellness products, whereas Indonesia, the cigarette consumption has been going down post-COVID. Obviously, the impact will be on the demand for cloves. Scenario in India is very interesting. We got GI tag in 2021. Tamil Nadu is a state that produces 1,000 metric tons for almost 1 ton per hectare, almost. I mean, that's not a very scientific way of saying, because it will be misleading you to comparing with the field crops. Import data is interesting to watch. That clove import last year was about 11,000. This year, up to August, is about 4,000. And the year previous to those was 2021 was 18,000. Clove is a very elastic commodity. Higher the price, lesser the consumption. So it is very, very prone to price behavior, and the consumption patterns go accordingly, inversely proportionate. Interesting to note that clove stem imports have been rising over a period of time. As the price of cloves goes up, the clove stem import also goes up. This is maybe to substitute by the dubious manufacturers of trying to control the cost that and mixing clove stem. Clove stem is not injurious, but is having about 10% of the volatile oil as compared to the Clove bud, which is having 17% of the oil content. Well, that's in short. I'll give the reading of the market to you, and that was my data that I didn't want to bombard you at the fag end of the day with a heavy dose of data. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir.